Bam! What is going on, everyone? Hello, welcome. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday morning. My name is Elliot Rodriguez, and I am the host for this last episode of the morning show. That's right. This is the last episode of the morning show. This is the last morning show of the year. The year is almost wrapping up. We got about 3 more weeks and then it'll wrap up, and then that'll be it for the morning show. Um, and next year, the show will have a different name. Um, if I continue doing these kinds of format shows, uh, I don't um, I don't think I'll be able to continue streaming the following year. If I do, it'll probably like short 20-minute, 30-minute streams, or I don't know. I'll figure it out next year, but I won't be able to do the whole 1 hour format next year. Um, in the case I do have one, maybe, then it'll be a different name. It'll not be the morning show. It'll be called something different. I already have the name of the show. It's going to be called after the comic, but I'm not going to give you any information about the comic, not at least until next week. Next week, December 14th is the day when I'm going to reveal everything that I'm working on in reference to the comic. So December 14th, which is next week, exactly 1 week from now, I'm going to show you everything that I've been working on for the past 2 months. I guess we got 2 months or so. I've been working on this comic for quite a while, like just sporadically, like here or there, but I didn't really like start pushing the gas on it, just in these recent these past 2 weeks, 2 months. So recently, I've been putting a lot more effort towards getting this comic done, and I'm starting with a 10-page preview. And the 10-page preview is it's ready. No, not the 10-page. I'm sorry, the reveal that I'm going. I don't want to give away too much. But the stuff, the art that I have prepared for the reveal is ready. I had planned on showing you concept art and showing you concept art of some of the main characters in the story, some side characters also. Yeah, I wanted to show you the logo to the comic, the name of the comic also, and so I have that all ready for you. I have it ready to show you next week. I also even have things just went like this. Like I started drawing the pages when I got on page 3. I started getting an idea for a cover, and I was like, okay, I think this would be a cool cover. I started drawing it. I worked on it a little bit. I think 2-3 weeks ago. It's finished. I sent it off to the colorist, which I was lucky enough to get a pro colorist to color it. So I was super excited that this person was available for the colors. I got it back. It looks wonderful, and I can't wait to show it off to everyone. And so now I also have a cover. I also have it colored, and I also have the logo. So at least the cover's finished. So now I just got to continue knocking out the pages, and I'm assuming by March of next year, I'll have it ready, because after I do the colors, I have to go back and do the grayscale and everything. If I do grayscale, because I may play with getting the book colored. I don't know. I'm toying with a bunch of ideas, but yes, everything is going to be revealed on the 14th. I hope you tune in. It'll be great. And all this has been me buying time for my guest, because my guest just arrived, and yes. So today, I have a really cool guest coming on. He is the creator of the comic called Virgin Kill Paradox, which is an interesting name. And I don't know if I hope he won't take offense to this, but I think I could consider him like a first-time creator, a newcomer to the scene. And he's a really cool cat. I had him on the show last week, and so we'll get the chance to talk with him and learn everything about his new comic called Virgin Kill Paradox. Issue number 0 is already available, and we'll get into that. But yeah, so without further ado, I would like to welcome to the show Mr. Rob Wilson. So big round of applause for Rob Wilson. Hey, what's going on,
What's up,
man?
man? Thanks for the intro.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. I was getting kind of worried because I sent you the link, and then I
Mm,
didn't get any response. I was like, oh man, I hope he's coming. But yeah, thank you very much for coming by. It means a lot. And
mm.
and yeah, so tell us, like, how are you doing? What's going on?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, as soon as I saw the link, I got the notification for an NVIDIA update, so I had to restart my whole computer. That's how
Oh
those
man,
things work. But yeah, doing pretty good. Excited. Excited with this pathway. Like you said, I'm a bit of a newbie to the Comet Skate scene and everything. VKP
me
Zero,
too.
Virgin Kill Paradox Zero. I started back in 2014 and went through a lot of red tape with that. And I had to fight the U.S. Copyright Office over it too. Once it
Wow.
was copywritten in 2017, then we put out number zero, which I've gotten a lot of feedback about this. It was in an era where I was more of an anime fan than American comics fan, and you know how that the
Mhm.
styles can kind of mash up. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I had no interest. I had no idea you had an issue with copyright. Could you? Is it okay if I ask you, like, if you could expand on that? Like, what was the issue?
Oh yeah, sure. This was supposed to be like a combination of my art with a friend of mine, Jason Terrell, who passed away. His
Oh, I'm
ideas.
sorry.
A good
Oh
friend, known him for I think 20 plus years. But
man, that
I
sucks.
tried to give him credit on the copyright concerning, that hey, he helped contribute to, this book that I want to get copywritten. So they were saying, we don't think, you know, uh, you have the proper permission from him, so we need a written letter from him to sign over his consent. And I was like, they waited like 6 months to say this. If I didn't
Wow.
ask them or call them or anything, they it just would have sat there, and I didn't understand it because I've copywritten my stuff like my artwork individually in groups and stuff for years, and normally it takes about 3 months. You know,
Yeah.
they confirm that it's yours, and then they see the certificate, which I did a live stream about it one time before about
Nice.
how some of this happened. So he did the letter. He sent in the email, and they got it. Then it took them another 3 months to to get it done, and roughly about around a year. Now, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not really. Well, we know a certain company has a propensity for snatching stuff when they get a chance, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Vertical paradox, one of the specific pillars of the story was floating cities, which you can see slightly on the
Yeah.
lower left hand side.
Yeah. There's four of them.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that was kind of like one of the pinnacles of the story. And with all the pushback that me and Jason had gotten at the time, there was a movie that came out shortly after we finally got our copyright, which was Avengers Age of Ultron.
And
And
there's
that
a floating city.
involved uh, what was it? The city of Sokovia
Yeah.
floating in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
air with the vibranium. So we were both kind of surprised but laughed at it because at that point it was Disney's thing. But I
Crazy.
know floating cities have been in anime and all that kind of stuff before, but what we
Yeah.
deal with that specifically, was kind of unique to our situation.
Awesome. That's an interesting incident that's attached to the story. You know, 'cause, but I like the concept. We'll get into the whole anime thing because there is like certain groups in the indie scene that aren't too happy with anime,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like me personally, I can't escape the influence of anime
Hmm.
on my art, no matter how much I try. I'm drawing my pages, and then I look back. I was like, this looks like something out of Dragon Ball. So I mean, it's there. I mean, because I think it's cool, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess to each their own. But me personally, I'm a fan of anime and mangas. Although I'm not deep into it because I've never read like an actual manga from beginning to end. And the
Hmm.
only anime I'm aware of is Dragon Ball, but I know there's a lot more out there. But yeah, I mean, I like what I've been exposed to so far. So I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And what is I'm sorry. Before I get into the next question, I wanted to just go ahead and say hi to the people in the chat that's showing up. We have Genuine Comics. What's going on, Dave? Good to see you, man. We have JBot. What's going on, man? It's
J-Bot.
always a pleasure to see you. And Dave says, I got the Mavericks book. I like the pinup you made for it. Well done. Thank you very much, man. That was a pleasure, an honor. I did a video about doing the work on that. It's on the channel somewhere in the channel. But yeah, I can't wait to get my book. I got the notification for it about a week ago, so I'm assuming I got 2 more weeks to wait. I guess it'll get here in time for Christmas, which would be great. And yeah, I love that piece also. It's really good stuff. And Matt Yackey, getting to work with Matt Yackey is always a pleasure. And J Bot, what's going on? Oh yeah, J Bot. And Chauncey's here. What's going on, Chauncey? Good to see you, man.
All right.
It says Yo Elliot and Robert in chat. Yes. And for the people that are not aware, I want to show off another video, a short video, displaying some of Rob's art, so you get an idea of what his art is like, and then I think you'll also see the anime influence in it, which I think is great. But let's take a look and let me knock this out. Let's take a look at Rob's art.
Oh yeah, this one latest one I did for Long Shadow and some new characters I worked on. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're starting with some sketches, and then we'll go back to some of your earlier work.
Okay.
And this the walnut thing.
Oh yeah. I got him in the works.
I like that piece. That piece was really nice. And Shazam,
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, the thumbnail for the video, the cover, good stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. Bringing back some memories.
Yeah, man, I did my fair share of stalking. Took
Mhm.
a look back at some of the previous pieces. I like this Iron Fist piece. Good stuff. Really good
Yeah,
work.
yeah. I figured I'd make like a variation where instead of him summoning the spirit of the dragon, he summons the spirit of the Leo, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
yeah, good
I had
stuff.
fun with
Good. A lot of creativity. And what so did you make it into the comic scene first through anime, or did you come through first through American comics? What was your first exposure to comics per se?
it. My first exposure was definitely Marvel Comics, Spider Man, Superman. A lot of those influences they kickstarted my interest. And obviously, I would see stuff like Batman versus Predator, a lot of that darker stuff, but my parents wouldn't allow me to get. Which I said, okay, that's fine. I'll stick with Spider Man, X Men, and then I used to be on the arcade scene back in the day, back in the '90s.
Oh,
So we used to play Marvel superheroes and those kind of games. And this
yeah.
one guy, he's military. He we would rival and play and whatnot. And one time he started bringing in VHS tapes of anime. So he would be like, "Hey man, check this out. Street Fighter Two, the animated movie. You
Oh, that
know,
was awesome. The
Ninja
second
Scroll.
one. Oh man.
Yeah, all these classics." And I was like, "Whoa, this freaking blew my mind." Because then I started thinking, you know, American comics is kind of kiddish, but this anime stuff takes it to a whole nother level. Uh,
Yeah.
it- you know, so I spent about 10 years, watching a lot of anime, very little manga, and then at this point in my life now, I'm kind of like where they both can converge. Like
Yeah,
I've I have a firm belief that there are great aspects in storytelling that are in anime and can be transferred over to American comics because they're already doing it with the opposite direction with My Hero Academia. They didn't took
yeah,
American comics and you know made a whole series off of for an anime with My Hero Academia, and it's a great story. So
yeah.
I've watched that and a few others. So kind of went back and forth, but definitely I started with American comics first.
Nice, nice, awesome. Um, yeah, like one thing that I appreciate a lot about at least some of the pages that I've seen of manga comics is their emphasis. I don't know if it would be more. I'm not sure. My gut feeling says it's more like a more emphasis on emotions than I would see in American comics. Like for example, um, like if there's something surprising happening or something or someone's angry or someone's happy, those expressions are shown. Like there's a panel dedicated to this person reacting to something happening, which I
Yep.
think is great because it helps to transmit that emotion that is happening in that scene. And and that's one thing, for example, that I'm taking from manga and putting it into my book also, because I think it's really good to help show that reaction between characters. I think it helps also to create a lot of subtext, um, like you don't have to write that this character feels happy. You can just see like something happening, then you see the
Hmm.
character react. He has a smile on his face, and then you deduce, oh, okay, so this must have made him happy. And I think my personal opinion, I think anime and manga work really well with that.
Yeah.
Um, at least from the storytelling perspective. But from the action, it's just all over the place, and this great stuff. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I remember back in the day going to the arcades. Street Fighter Three was happening at that time. Marvel
Hmm.
versus Capcom was popular. I had no
Oh
idea
yeah.
that combination would be so cool until I
Hmm.
saw it. Like when I saw it, I was like, this is like a perfect match. Like the way that they do the fighting with Street Fighter, and you saw Mega Man getting it on, and then you saw some Spider Man Juggernaut. I was like, this is just a perfect match. And
Hmm.
and yeah, I haven't been exposed at all to My Hero Academia. I've heard about it, but I haven't picked up any issues of it yet. I will.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because I would love, for example, for some of that stuff to trickle down into my stuff also. And yeah, it's
Hmm.
awesome stuff. And so Virgin Kill Paradox is something similar along the lines of like what influences from that did you pull to create your story?
Um, let's see. So when I first started getting ideas for VKP, I was watching Witchblade, the anime. Um, they made a Japanimation rendition of the Top Cow's character, Witchblade, and
Yeah, I've heard about
I
that.
was yeah I was watching that and I was like, this is kind of sleeky, not the best story, but kind of sleeky, good combination of a little bit of sex appeal with danger and death and all that involved. So between that and you familiar with Mila Jovovich, the girl from Fifth
From Resident
Element,
Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah, and
From yeah, Fifth
Ultraviolet.
Element. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
so she had already been established as kind of like a female, badass.
yeah, yeah.
So starting to put those aspects together are kind of like where I got the idea for VKP. Um, Two genetically enhanced sister assassins um, created to eliminate the new government's opposition, any rebels, and things like that in a world that's post, nuclear apocalypse. Um, with those aspects, and then I wanted to tie it into other stuff because I have a story that started back when I was like in high school, and I got a whole set of characters for that. But the name is so unique, I don't want to put it out there yet because
Tell us, Rob.
but
I'm kidding.
it'll connect this with VKP. It'll connect VKP with that one, and then I have a medieval comic that I want to do.
Oh,
Can't
nice.
reveal the character name for that yet because it's so unique. At least I think I try to Google this stuff every day and see if anybody is using it yet.
That's the
And a
same thing I
couple,
do. Yeah, yeah. Make sure nobody. Make sure it doesn't already exist. Because if it doesn't,
yeah,
I'll just go somewhere else with it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Nice. Cool.
yeah. So I kind of like have a overarching story, similar to like how Thanos was motivated by Mistress Death in the
Yeah.
comics, and his influence, touched kind of like every character in the universe. So that's what I want to do with it. And We Comics OII is a short version of Omni Imagination Interactive LLC. I established that LLC when I got back from my first deployment in 2018.
Oh man,
And
nice.
The goal was to create a 4-part system. The first part is to create comic book characters. The second part is to create collectibles of these comic book characters, whether it's through 3D printing. I do like collecting figurines. I got like some Wonder Woman, some Thanos, and all this in the back. Um,
Nice.
but I would love to have my own characters, in kind of like that format. And then the third
Nice.
level is to create animations to tie in the stories. And the
Oh,
fourth and final is to create a fighting game that's kind of like Marvel's Capcom is crossover. So it has all the characters that I've been building, however long my life it'll take to get this done. It's what I plan to do. And I have a game where, fighting gamers can play, this character's from that, that story, this character's from this story, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of like my end game with Wii Comics. I don't know how I hope to do it entirely because I know I can't, create all this stuff myself. The 3D printing, I mean, I do have ZBrush. I got to take time to learn that. And then as far as the animation, I have a little bit of experience in animation and video editing. Uh-oh, did we lose Elliot? Uh-oh. Signal down. What's going on, Odin Dasco? Oh, he froze. That happens. And yeah, I guess lastly, I would definitely need to outsource to get the fighting game done. So I spent this summer and a little bit of the fall just trying to get a writer because I'm not good at writing. I'm an artist. I'm a penciler at heart. That's where my skills lie. A little bit of video editing, some music. That's where I'm at. I definitely know that if I wanted a comic book to be, a good combination of art, which I got covered, and storytelling, I would need a writer. So I have been asking around since this summer, who's great in Comicsgate when it comes to writing. So that's where we're at now. Let me see. Check on Elliot here. The internet kicked him out. Oh, okay. He'll be right back. So yeah, lots of stuff I've created, lots of characters I've created. Can't show them all. I think the bulk of my character creation was in early 2000s. Um, I was living down south at the time, and I look forward to Toonami. They had their Outlaw Star, Gundam Wing, uh, Cowboy Bebop, Blue Sub #6, Dragon Ball Z, of course. All of those kind of paved the way for me to create um, to fill an entire sketchbook, several, full of stories and characters and situations that I wanted to present in the future. So to switch from anime style, which was definitely a whole lot easier than drawing American comic style, because when it comes to rendering, it's just the painting, the shading, and the painting. But American comic style, for the style that I like when I look up at Brett Booth, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, that rendering takes a little more time. So it's something I have to learn, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. Oh man. Genuine Comics said, "You working on a book, Rob?" Yes. For right now, it is called Virgin Kill Paradox. It's kind of like a slapsticky, anime-ish type name, but it's an American comic. I don't think I have access to show you guys, but I'll wait until Elliot gets back. Yep, Sister Assassins, genetically enhanced to take out the enemies of the new government. Post-apocalyptic, um, post-apocalyptic setting where the Earth's surface is covered in radiation. The new government provides 4 floating cities for the remainder of humanity to live on, and from there, um, for some, paradise is not enough. So, with that, some of the inhabitants don't agree with the human right violations that the new government is doing via human experimentation. So they rebel. Some rebel and they fight back against the new government. And if their voices are echoed loud enough and they have strong enough influence, that's where the new government sends in Novera or Nirvana to eliminate the voices of dissent and keep the population under control. Let's see. Genuine Comics said, "Poor Rob trying to keep us entertained." Hey, I give you what I got, man. I give you what I got. I haven't been live streaming in a while because doing video editing and all that is better done off camera. So let's see. Genuine Comics said, "Take out the enemies of the new government. They're going after Musk." Now, I was just talking a little bit about my comic. Odin Dasco says, "Good thing Rob streams shows on his own quite often. Uh, he's used to this." Yeah, exactly. Hey, Rob, if Vertical Paradox was a food, what would it be? It would be sushi. It would be sushi with what's that? What's that poisonous fish with the blowfish? It's like a portion. So when you eat the sushi, you have a chance of dying. I, I know that's pretty messed up for food, but that's what Virgin Kill Paradox would be. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Hojo, what up, Hojo? Not much. Working on a day job starting. Oh, okay. Started calling printers in my area, prices and scheduling. Mythicals is launching February 24th, 2023. Yeah, we're gearing up for 2023. Look forward to another great new year. Hopefully, that will yield great food. Vertical Paradox Sushi Roulette. Yeah, basically. Good one, Odin. Um, Chandra said sushi. I dig it. Said that that quick like you've been asked before. No, it always kind of stuck in my mind. Well, I guess I asked myself. That's one of the things that I've had to learn, especially this year when it came to storytelling and writing, to be able to answer some of the questions that may be asked about your story. When it comes to a lot of the editorial process, as I've read, uh, you have to find ways to scrutinize every little thing in order to find out what is and what is not. Does this character fly? Okay, what are the conditions of their flight and all that? Hey, there we go. Oh, he just made it back. Then he left again. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Man, I'm really sorry for that. How embarrassing, man. Like it just went completely crazy. It just knocked me out. Like, man, I caught
It's all good.
it was funny because I was watching the stream on my phone. I was like, wow, this is a good show. I wish Elliot would get on. Man. Oh man.
Yeah,
Um
technical difficulties. It happens, man.
yeah, I'm sorry to also to everybody in the chat. Thank you very much for holding down the fort and yeah, keeping the whole thing from going. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about that. Um
Sorry.
and I'm sorry, Rob, if I can pull you back a few minutes because you
Yeah.
were saying you were saying like I guess what would be the mission statement of OII um uh at
Oh yeah.
studios.
Yeah.
You were saying that first you're working on doing comics, then you're going to work on getting your collectibles, then running into animation, and then finishing off with everything with a fighting game. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I heard last that's where I was last connected.
Yeah.
Uh, to round
Yeah.
out that idea, what else were you saying?
Oh no, that's pretty much it. Once you had jumped out, I just started talking to the chat. So we were just going back and forth. So yeah, Omni Imagination Interactive, which is the OI for short, We
Oi,
Comics.
oi.
That's the aspect of the all four pillars of what I want to achieve with it. So I have a goal set in motion. It's already a LLC, and
Man, that's
I'm
awesome.
already working on working with my first writer that's willing to at least respond to me and say, okay, well, let's give this a shot. Because some writers are like, good luck, man, and they just
Yeah,
disappear. And that happens, not everybody gets along with everybody. Or, when you have enough experience, as I'm learning, I'm not saying I have that much experience, but when you have enough experience, whether you're an artist or a writer, you get to kind of choose who you want to work with. And
yeah,
if a story isn't your kind of thing, you may not want to do it. I completely understand that.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. That was also yeah, it happens for artists and I'm assuming it also happens for writers cuz I
Mhm.
I don't know I guess you would understand like, people approach you with their projects and some of these are really good projects, but there comes a time where I have to say no, I want to work on my own thing
Mhm.
and yeah, so you get to be I guess after like you say after a certain amount of experience you get to be selective with what you do and who you do it with and
Mhm.
that's good. And so I was under the impression that you were writing your story and also drawing it. You're not doing that anymore.
Well, I did the first one, VKP 0,
Okay.
but I had to realize, well, it's kind of like the same thing Tom McFarlane said. As he was putting more things under his hat, he had to put other skills to the side. So if I'm an artist, at heart, I'm a penciler, it's
Hmm.
probably better I just spend more time focusing on that and then try to work with a writer. And I can learn things from that writer as I'm working with them. So
Yeah.
that way, I can get it done and have a complete product. So
Exactly.
it's kind of like a lesson in humility I got to learn here.
Yeah.
You can't do
Yeah.
it all.
Because
You can try, but it'll take a long time.
yeah, that's exactly the wall that I hit also because yeah, artists all have their egos. I think any creative has their egos, and so they
Mhm,
think, nah, I don't need anybody. I can do this on myself. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, I mean, there's things that just are beyond the reach of certain people. I mean, because there's also people that do it all. Like
Yeah.
for example, Rocafort, he's doing everything. He's writing, drawing,
Mhm.
coloring. He does everything. No, but in my
Yeah.
case, for example, yeah, I was thinking of doing everything, but like uh, my coloring is good. Like it's alright. No, it's pretty nice. But I mean,
Mhm.
there's other colorists out there that dedicate their time to that would do a much better job coloring my art
Yeah.
than I would. And
Mhm.
then and I'm realizing that I could work and dedicate and probably get a little bit better where I'm at in coloring, but in that time that I'm dedicating to that,
Mhm.
I'm straying away from drawing. I'm straying away from other things, and I'm like, nah, Now, I'll rather hire a colorist if it's possible, and then let them do the stuff because they'll do a much better job. Things will look a whole lot better, and yeah. So
Yeah,
that's I completely understand that because
it's even
yeah,
like was it Serpent King? I think that's the name of it. Brett Booth's latest
yeah,
character on, was it All Artists Elite, that
yes,
series. Um, when you look at, because I follow Brett Booth on his Patreon, that's
yeah,
all he's
nice.
doing: pencil, 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 pencil. And then I learned about recently. Was it Sal Regaldo or
Sal
Regla?
Regia, yeah, the
Yeah.
inker.
Sorry, I butchered his last name.
Yeah, I
But
did too. No worries.
he's
You'll
an
be all right.
inker,
Yeah,
and I seen him do the inks over Brett Booth's pencils, and it just brings out so much more. So I'm like, hey,
yeah,
if I can be good and if I'm a jack of all trade, I'm a master of none, right? So
it's true.
if I
Yeah,
try to master some of these few skills, and I'd rather be known for those than, hey, I'm all over the place, which some people can do it because they may have industry level experience.
yeah.
My case, I had to do some soul searching to get to where I'm at.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
longer process. Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. That's awesome. So, okay, so you're going to delegate the writing,
Mhm.
and are you also like going to get editors, also letterers, and these other things involved?
Definitely editor. Well, the writer I'm talking to now, I don't know if he wants to put it out there yet because he's still working on some stuff before we get the ball rolling. We
Yeah.
already came to a price agreement. But yeah, he's a writer and editor.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay.
if I could keep it under one roof, and then like as far as the graphic design for the lettering, I got experience in that, doing that.
Yeah.
Done graphic design for people before. Um, the inking, coloring. I mean, Clip Studio Paint has it all. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
you
It's
know.
just it's so versatile, and there's so many things you can do with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get lost. Like, I mean, I do some coloring here or there,
Hmm.
but I know there's like much more there for people that know how to work with those kinds of softwares and that
Hmm.
kind of program. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to catch up with a few of the comments.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Odin, what's going on, man? Good to see you, Odin. Hojo, what is going on, man? I hope you guys are still around. I'm sorry for bouncing for getting kicked off my own show. Um, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And he says, "What did you do? You kicked Elliot?" Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't Rob. It was the internet. Yeah, Elliot struggles with my. Yeah, what's going on, Paul? Paul from AGE is here also. What's going on? Who else am I missing? My sister's in the chat. What's going on?
All right.
DB.
Hell.
Um, and yeah, and you're working on yeah, Dave. Robin has this book called Virgin Kill Paradox, which we are talking about today, and yeah, this is the cover for issue 0, and
Mhm.
I don't know if people are aware of this, but this is already finished, and you can get this. This is digital. It's in the digital format, and you can get it right now in Rob's Dropbox shop. And in the descriptions, I put the link to his to his. He's got a website. I think it would be no Rob.
My link tree, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
He's
link
got
tree.
everything on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why.
the link tree ties into everything. Also have a VKP on Arts of Merit available print on demand. It's about ten
Nice.
bucks, same price as the digital. But it's my older work. It kind of highlights how I used to draw and the concept there. Um, but now when I'm working, the way I work and the way I do my artwork, you can see the difference. That's the best way I can say it. And yeah, I think it's in the direction where I want to, have this going towards my target audience, which is American comics. So,
Nice. Awesome stuff. So yeah, I put the link in the chat so you guys can check that out and get a glimpse at what Rob is creating. Um, thank you very much, Holden. He's welcoming me back to the show. It's great to be here. It's great to be here.
Hell
What's going
shit.
on, Willie? Willie P's in the chat. Also, what's going on? Yeah, I missed a lot. Cover looks trippy. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Cover. Is there like a set meaning or something behind the artistic choice behind the cover that you did for
Yes.
this?
So two genetically enhanced sister assassins. Question is, what allows them, to have the abilities that they have? So there's this energy that's in the center, which
Yeah.
I kind of changed the form of it because it's like energy and yet it's kind of fluid. Um, this is a type of element that is newly discovered by the new government, and their only surviving test subjects are the two sister assassins. So when you look closely at the element, you see other characters in it as well, including one of the government heads. He's up by the elbow of the blue Smurf on the right. So I guess the story is specifically around this element that
Okay.
powers these characters. Now, I will say this: similar to relics of interest, kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones. There are several relics that will connect the different stories. This element is one of them, and this story also has a gateway, which is called the Paradox Gate. Um, I don't really call it a connector to another universe or another multiverse or nothing like that. I want to stay away from those names, but there are spectrums of light of different realities that some of these relics will connect to the other stories. Sounds kind of complex, but that's what I'm aiming for. I got to do it. I will start it off in the most simplistic of fashions, if
Yeah.
need be, so that way I don't lose the reader.
Nice. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a good approach because uh, I think elements that are I guess I would say heavy or dense in that case, I think should be given little by little, so that, yeah, to that end, to not to make it too overwhelming for the reader, I would say. But yeah, good idea. And are there um, since discovering or being a part of or joining or coming to becoming aware to what's going on in CG, have you thought about making any changes to your story from what it originally was
Yes.
beforehand? What are some of those?
Well, you said beforehand. After I've gotten some feedback, I had one stream where I think you're familiar with 80s Mate, where he
Yeah, yeah.
basically tore
Who's
this
that
book
guy?
up.
Yeah. Yeah. He's what?
About 3 pages in, he was done. But he provided some really interesting feedback, and he asked those questions and scrutinized, the characters, so
Yeah,
that way he could better understand what's going on. And one of the things that I take to heart that I've heard Eric July say is that you want to listen to your customers. Um, Not all of your peers may be your customers. That's just is what it is. Not
yeah.
everyone's going to like what you have, but for those that are interested, get their opinions, get their feedback. So, with some of the recent feedback that I've gotten, um, the introduction of characters will be a little different,
Hmm.
and it's going to start pre World War III, so people can see how the world was before that, and then continue on, post, and that's where the real story begins. So
Nice.
some of the characters will be around before, some will be dormant, sleeping giants, so to speak,
Yeah,
and everyone's got to live in this new world together. So there'll be
nice.
different factions and all that stuff. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean that story wise, and also like for example, artistically, like are there things that you've seen that maybe because you mentioned earlier at the beginning, like a mashup of manga and American.
Hmm.
Are you going to put more American style into your book, and what would that be? What could you say to that?
Yes, definitely. During my second deployment, which was last year, and I got back somewhere around May, um, I spent
Thank you
probably.
for your service, also by the way, Robin. Really
Oh,
grateful.
thanks for the support, man. When I was over there, I got a chance to, with the downtime that we had, I bought a lot of courses on Gumroad on how to draw comics.net or from
Yeah,
the Barton Bros and
nice.
Ed Fochuck. So my style had changed a lot. I was doing a lot of what do they call it? A lot of the courses, the training, the rendering, how to render, how to light, do the lighting, how to set up panels, all those kinds of things. And I'm trying to pull up some of my stuff now so you kind of see the difference of
Yeah,
what I'm working
go
with.
ahead, share it with us. Yeah, and Hojo says he's got to run to a meeting. Hit him up if you ever need a writer or someone to help you plot a story. Everybody have a
Okay,
great day. Thank you very much, Hojo. Looking forward to Mythicals. Um,
nice.
yeah. So hopefully we'll get to see that soon. Willie says sounds like the time I dropped LSD before Thanksgiving, but that's a different stream. Crazy stuff. And Odin says 80s can be brutally critical, but it's usually well put and poignant criticisms that can be helpful. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm,
Um, I think it was like two streams ago. I had 80s on, and I showed him afterwards some of the stuff that I was working on. And yeah,
mhm,
he told me, this is good. It would be good to do this, good to do that. And I think it's good to hear, like you say, the customers because to a certain degree, because as you say, we know who's who and who's genuine and who's not. There's
yeah.
also this idea that at the end of the day, we're all competitors. Like we all like I don't know if it would be right, but like we would all like try to take each other's customers essentially, because that's what we're
Hmm.
looking for. And so
Yeah.
yeah, so sometimes like what other people could say may not be exactly what they're saying because there's that underlying thing that we should all be aware of.
Hmm.
But I genuinely like you, Rob. So we're okay.
Hey,
I'm
same
not
with you,
trying to
man. Hey,
I'm not
I
trying to
come.
take your customers. Just
I try to come at everybody the same way I want to be treated, and it always
yeah,
starts
exactly.
with respect.
Yeah, exactly. That's just out of curiosity, what was your MOS during your service? I think Willie was
Oh,
also in the service. It was also served.
oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for your service as well. I'm a
So what was?
tactical generator mechanic, and
Oh,
I'm still
sounds
in 2024 though. I'm out the door, but um, since we work with a lot of officers, we just do their bidding, So
nice.
that's how it goes. We
Yeah,
enlist.
Hojo is also I think was also in the military. And that's an
Okay.
interesting question. I don't know if you could say something to that. After you finish showing me what you were showing us.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so
So
you put the image that you pulled up.
yeah. So this is one of the characters from VKP, and there's a lot going on here. It's just
Yeah,
a sketch, but stuff like huge BFG, you know, big freaking guns, um, stuff that I designed, and even the city models
oh,
that I've
nice.
come up with are a lot more different than just from what we saw on the cover of number zero.
Yeah,
So definitely a lot of flying cars, that kind of thing. Let's see. So like with Novira, who was on the cover, she had the blonde hair,
yeah,
black suit. So the anime style is still there as far as kind of like the outlining a little bit
yeah.
in my style, but now adding in the rendering. the American style rendering, that kind of changes the aspect of it a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
like that.
yeah, I'm trying to put together a combination of both. So as I mentioned, I
Nice.
think you were away. The rendering takes a lot of time to get right and to make it look appealing to the eyes.
Yeah.
That's something I spent a lot of time doing because I'm still learning it. But just the overall, line work like this, when I would draw anime in the past, I'd be like line work, base color, shading, done. Shading and lighting, done.
Yeah.
But adding in the rendering, that's the extra step to
Yeah.
get like
And
that
I
look.
think yeah, that previous pic that you showed, where if you can go back
Which one?
one more, you had the one with the robotic
Yeah.
character. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that for example, what I used to do. Oh, I
Hmm.
think I also still go back to the exercise. Was a really one thing that I did, which I thought was a really good exercise for me,
Hmm.
was get line work like that, and then make copies of it, and then
Hmm.
put like a light source in different areas. For example, I have one drawing with one light source at the top, another drawing with a light source at the bottom, another one with the
Hmm.
side, and then
Okay.
render according to each light source. I think it
Hmm.
would be good to help with just getting an idea of how rendering works,
Yeah.
because it does take a lot of time, and it does. There's so much to learn to it. Like the other day, for example, I was watching a video of Richard Friend on his YouTube,
Hmm.
and he was the way he was doing his cross hatching. Um, he did it in such a way where he would curve the lines, and then after he finished with that set that he was working on, you could see patterns in the cross hatching. And I was like, whoa, I had no idea
Wow. Yeah.
that you can make those that way. And yeah, so it's so much more to cross hatching than meets the eye, so it is it is something to work on.
That is
And
true.
I have to work a lot on that
Yeah. So
with
it's
some stuff.
it's a learning process. We
Yeah.
all got to go through it. Even when I would try to draw like X-Men back in the day with the Onslaught saga, um, I would try to emulate those styles of shading and rendering,
Mm.
but I didn't understand the concept.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I see a symbol here that looks like shading. So let me copy that symbol.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me. So it took years later for me to get, oh, okay, rendering is actually where the values of, dark and light, contrast.
Exactly.
So I had to be a little more mindful of that. So then start getting a little bit better with these. And
Yeah, that's
like I
great.
said, I've been a penciler at heart, so I know about shading values. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was the biggest thing that knocked me out when I started jumping into inking, is that you can't ink the same way that you pencil. Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
this thing where like you get the pencil and then you put it on the side and then you shade it, and then
hmm,
you get this really cool effect, but you
yeah.
can't do that with ink, and so
Oh
you have to
no,
like figure out how to like put pressure on it, and it's
yeah,
another beast. And I have a whole lot of respect for inkers, because yeah, it's a whole nother way of looking at line art. And yeah, Willie says, I hope you enjoy your retirement. Guess things haven't changed, I guess. Thanks for your service.
oh yeah. Things are changing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Willie. They are definitely changing, which is why I'm ready to get my foot out the door. They get a little too crazy for me.
And then he also says it has an Aeon flux feel. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
that's about the ballpark. He really likes it. And then Odin, Richard Fenn is a phenomenal artist. Yeah, that's definitely
nice.
true. And Robin Elliott, you are a powerful artist in your own right, and looking forward to what you all put out in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
And
Holder.
you too,
Appreciate
my friend. I'm looking
it.
forward
Yeah,
to unconditional shove. But I got to
yeah.
get back to work later. Yeah, take care, Odin. Catch you later,
All
dog.
right, Odin. Yeah, Odin is on a roll with that. The way he inks, he does very little sketching, and he
Yeah,
just goes straight to the inks. We've done some
that's another
shows
talent.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another talent, to just be able to go straight to inks. That's oh man, that's crazy
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
So these are more characters in VKP. These were designed back in the summer. So you're gonna have your detective. Um,
Nice.
he has futuristic gadgets, but he likes to pretend he's still living in the 1940s or something, even though
Yeah,
obviously
nice.
he hasn't been around then. Um, and then this is Novera. She has like her battle armor, um, her battle helmet as well. And because
This is one of the sisters,
yes, yep,
and this is the younger sister, the older sister. One thing that I saw that could help us tell the difference is that one had longer hair, and
yes,
this is okay.
the one with the shorter hair, yeah. So Novera is basically the main character of the
Okay.
story. Um, her she's kind of like an assassin that does what she's told until she starts to uncover certain things, and then she starts to disagree with the tyranny.
Okay.
Um, the older sister, Nirvana, who is she's a bit bloodthirsty, so she
Yeah.
enjoys the tyranny and the control and the power. So
Okay.
that's kind of like where they clash, where basically one sister is learning to fight for freedom, where the other one's, fighting for tyranny, you know, to
Crazy.
continue. So it's
That's
got
the
some
interesting clash.
undertones of, beliefs and stuff, a little bit of civil war in there.
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah,
Let me
Adam's in the chat. What's going on, Adam? Good to see you, man.
put
And
up
he says,
Adam.
really love your style, Rob. These designs are great. Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
I agree.
it. And then this is another one I had in the
Oh,
works,
that's dope.
quick sketch, which I'll finish it up. It's supposed to be a bit of a well, I guess it's not a secret tear anymore. but
The secret has been spilled
yeah.
and
So
revealed.
these are some concepts. Also, this is the paradox gate,
Ah,
which
nice.
will tie into other stories and some of the drone technology that's used in the future. This is one of the creatures that uh, came through the gate. So
Nice.
it'll play a pivotal role in the beginning story. And
Nice.
yeah, just different structures and pillars and things like that to get into the concept of those. And at the same time, with a lot of these, um, I like to have fun. Sometimes I'll do fan art, so I came up with this cowgirl Wonder Woman type thing. You know,
Nice.
um, I don't really draw too much DC or Marvel stuff anymore,
Yeah, no,
but
yeah, me neither.
if someone has a request, like one of the guys in my unit, he wanted this, and I have fun making this one. uh,
Nice.
very, basically monkey mayhem. That's what I
Nice.
call it. So, um,
Crazy.
yeah, kind of.
And what was your thought on ARO when you came when you found out about CG? Have you heard about ARO?
No.
The man, I think somebody in the chat can correct me. I don't want to say something that's out of it's an orangutan with an I think it's AK AR-15. I'm sorry, AR-15.
Oh no, I
You
think
haven't seen that?
no.
It's
I
part
think
of the CG lore. Yeah.
say again.
It's part of the CG lore. Like it's something that's you'll see it. Hopefully, I don't know if I have any art to show off, but of that,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's it, I pointed out because it's really interesting how yeah, you would be like the third person that I've come across mixing this mixing apes with military equipment, and I just think it's funny. I think it's awesome. And
Yeah.
Dave says he's got to go. Have a great day, everyone. Take care,
All right.
Dave. See you later. And yeah, I was asking you earlier, like, what do you think? It's I don't know, like, what would be your opinion, your take on the fact that there's a lot of people that have been in the military that are also tied to comics in some way. Do you think there's like some kind of connection there, or what would be your opinion? Because for example, you served and you're doing comics. Hojo served. He's doing comics. Willie P served and he's a big fan of comics. I don't think he's making anything,
Hmm.
but I've seen that recurring a lot. For example, Billy Tucci served and he's doing comics. Do you think
Mhm.
there's a connection there, or
Oh,
what would you
absolutely.
attribute that to?
Even with like Stan Lee,
That's true. Yeah,
he's a
that's right. He
military
uh,
guy.
he also served.
So I think, well, I look at it as like this. When it comes to humanity, hey, we got two hemispheres. We got the logical part of the brain, we got the creative side of the brain. People that operate predominantly on logic um, have put together this system structure where, hey, you got to work to eat, or, you got to work, earn a living in order to have a place, pay your bills and all that kind of stuff. But the creative folks, they got to do that too, but at the same time, they keep those creative ideas flowing, whether it's music, whether it's art in any form. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So there are people that when I was deployed, they had business plans on selling Lamborghinis and cars or leasing them out and all that kind of stuff. So I had some kind of ambition, and I think with art, it's no exception. Even for creating newsletters on what's coming up with military events and stuff like that, you need a
Hmm.
designer. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You need some kind of graphic designer. You need a writer. You need a photographer. In the military. So there's a job in the military. There's a job for almost every skill that's out there,
Nice.
to a degree. But I think definitely there is some kind of pattern where maybe people in a situation where, hey, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just hang out, and worst case scenario, I can just join the military. If I'm in a bind,
Yeah.
that mindset is out there too. But definitely, there's some very talented, comic book artists to come out of the military, and in a way, I guess those experiences in the military enrich the creative ideas too. You
Yeah.
know, like what was it about Agent Venom? Where Eddie Brock
Yeah.
is based on the story of I think the writer, he knew someone that lost his legs in Afghanistan or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a correlation, I think, with that.
Nice.
You
Awesome
know,
stuff, man. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely something there, and I think you just gave a great answer to that because there's always the need to be creative and yeah, that's awesome stuff, man.
Mhm.
Awesome stuff. And are there any like do you have like a timeline of when you think we would get like the first glimpses of this of the new issue that you're working on?
Um, on me, honestly, I want to work on some stuff now, but
Okay.
um, I prefer to, how can I say it? Get an idea from the writer
Okay.
on what we got. Now I can show you some concept art I'm working on, because I mean, like, doing a cover, I think is pretty easy for me, so I could always knock those out fairly fast. I could show you one of those if you want.
Yes. Why not?
And let me see. Give me one moment. Yeah, because I showed this to 80s, and he was like, "Well, you should change this, and that, and that," and I did. So outside of that, I thought this came out to be pretty interesting for a cover, and at least capture the essence of where I'm going with VKP, which is a name in progress. Because
Nice. You're going to change the name?
probably slightly, but I'm
Oh.
thinking where I can where it doesn't sound like in the 80s made, in his words, it doesn't sound like a perv book.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I guess yeah, because the Virgin Kill. I think yeah. No, but
Yeah.
man, I think it's an interesting title. I don't know, but yeah. Any changes that will help it out in the long
Mhm.
run. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a nice cover. I like this. This is
Yeah. So these are the top government heads.
nice.
They're called the Sepidentary. It's like seven. Um,
Sweet.
and they cover certain aspects. Now, with the paradox gate, um, it sometimes changes forms. Remember,
Yeah.
you ever seen Stargate,
No.
the movie?
No, I'm aware that there's like a big gate portal thing they walk through, but I haven't seen the movie. No, I'm not. No,
So basically, in that,
sorry.
you needed you needed a number of different symbols to determine where your destination is going to be.
Oh,
So
nice.
with the gate, it changes forms depending on um, where it's headed, and also it's got some soul sucking abilities too.
Oh, wow.
So you gotta feed the beast, right?
Exactly.
So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. This is just one of the ones I've been working on slowly, and pretty much ready
Sweet.
to start inking it for real. So
Yeah, it looks good. Looks like it's well into it. Well into the process of getting inked. Yeah, good stuff.
mhm. And
Looks good.
I also have other characters of interest here. These are actual living entities within the gate as well. So that'll cross over to another story.
Wow.
So definitely
Dropping
got a
Easter
lot of.
eggs. Dropping Easter eggs into the. Will that be it?
Say again.
So, like you're revealing these things in the form of Easter eggs, just dropping hints of what's to come.
Yep.
Now, for example, when it comes to things like that,
Mhm.
like, does that affect the writing process? Like, so that in the future you won't like end up contradicting what you mentioned earlier, and no loopholes. Um,
Um, I don't think
or,
so
or do
because
you have like an overarching idea already set in mind?
well, yeah, I got I'm using the MCU's phase system. So
Okay.
the way I have that set up, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up and
What's
let me
going on,
see.
Aardvark? How you doing? Welcome to
Aardvark.
the show.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull up. I'm not gonna show it, but I'm gonna read it out to you because you know, like the MCU was doing phases, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It had
exactly.
Iron Man 2, Thor, Phase 1. So that's kind of what I'm doing for mine. With the Easter eggs that I'm presenting, um, when I present them, I'm not really providing any background information. So you catch it, you know, maybe subconsciously with your eyes,
Yeah,
um, or maybe a quote in passing that comes up later. So then when that they do have their own story, or you know, shadowy figure in the alleyway was really so and so and so, aha, you know, then you know I can expand on it then, as opposed to explaining too much up front and having it be accidentally contradictory later on. So that's kind of how I'm working it. I'm always open to suggestions, but yeah. So like my outline, phase one is going to have 3 issues of Vertical Paradox, 3 issues of another character, and 3 issues of another story. And then phase two will introduce another book, and then 2 issues of the other comics. Phase three will do the same, and then that will set up for um, a big conflict. Oh no, we lost Elliot again. Morning show number 20. Ladies and gents, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. All right, so I'm not sure. I think that's all I got. I'll see what Elliot has in mind, or if he has any questions when he comes back on. But yeah, I mean, with the artwork, Elliot says, "Hola, amigos." There he is.
man, I'm really sorry.
No,
Stupid
it's all right.
internet. But yeah, I heard that you were talking about phase three and yeah, phase one. I'm sorry. I heard that you were talking about it, but I didn't catch exactly what you were saying. So phase one consists of what?
Phase one have 3 issues of VKP,
Okay.
um, and then it'll introduce 2 other comics as well, 3 issues of those, and then it'll go on to phase two. And
Nice.
with each of those stories progressing individually, once we get past phase three, then they'll have their converge. What do they call those? Crossover event.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
big crossover event. Like
hmm
multiverse type thing? Or no, no, not
Well,
that big
yeah,
shit.
I'm staying away from multiverse, but
Yeah.
the way I'm presenting them are in light spectrums.
Nice. Oh,
That's what I'm
nice.
calling them. So
Interesting. Unique.
if you use the concept where everything is energy, well then why can't life exist in some of those forms of light? You know, well
That's an
some
interesting question. Yeah.
yeah, a little twist on science and all that.
Hey,
So
that's nice.
and then after that, that big event, then we'll introduce some new characters. And you have my word. This is the Rob Wilson We Comics ethos that I will
Yes.
not go woke because I'm not trying to go broke. And I will not turn my MCU into an MCU. That's why I'm already starting off with
Nice.
female characters in the beginning.
Ah, nice. Yes.
you know, and they're gonna have
Sweet.
their difficulties and conflicts. No Mary Sue's, unless I'm doing like a parody. Mary Sue
Nice.
walks into a bar full of guys, and then you know light flashes, and then the end of the comic, kind of like
Nice.
Nuclear Samurai. If
Sweet.
you ever seen that.
No, but I have an idea. No, no. But
hmm Yeah, it's like
awesome
the
stuff.
yeah, it's like the sequel to what was that Shotgun Samurai? I think.
Yeah, by
I can't.
yeah, yeah, the yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
by
So
Quaff.
yeah, he did a
Yeah, yeah,
little he did a little spoof one called, I think it was called Nuclear Warhead Samurai, and
yeah.
it just shows him strapped to a
With the
nuke.
nuke. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that may be as far as I'll go as far as Murray Sue, and it'll be a joke.
Nice.
It won't be anything serious. But
Awesome
yeah,
stuff, man.
between those phases, and then I do want to have some shorts. You know how like Spider-Man's in a newspaper, you have about 4 or 5 panels or something like that,
Yeah.
quick story. I want to introduce some of the other characters later on that way as well. That's kind of like piggyback to the main story.
To the main story. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, and
hmm
I think customers just in general will always appreciate more content. Like if you put the
hmm
book out and then like extra 3 pages, 6 pages of a side story developing other characters, that's always welcomed.
hmm
And yeah, I think that's a
Yeah,
great idea.
yeah. I
Awesome
figure it'd
stuff.
be fun.
So right now you're in pre-production or in just
Yeah.
regular you're in production. You just
Yeah.
you're still getting your story elements together.
Well, yeah. I already got the outline for VKP 1. I've submitted that to my writer, um, and then I gave him a deadline. Hopefully, we can get that 30 was it 38 page script done before the end of the year, which is before
This year.
December. Yeah,
Oh, nice,
yeah, and from there, once I read that, I'm putting panels together. I mean,
nice.
we'll go back and forth a little bit about, hey, I like this. Maybe we could change that, and I'll get some feedback from him on that because he's got more experience than I do. So
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's important that I'm fairly flexible in that degree. And
Nice.
after that, I mean, really, what it comes down to is just the art, getting it done. So I think I'm confident in where I want my skills to look as far as comic book art.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been working with this style for about a year now.
Yeah,
And I've been drawing for at least 30 years.
nice.
I've been drawing since I was a kid. a little tyke, and wasn't always. I didn't start off good, but I mean, I have a good enough concept of drawing and knowing what I want to create to where I can go ahead and streamline it. And like I mentioned, I already got Clip Studio Paint, Procreate, so pencil, inks, color, a little bit of, I guess, Photoshop Light or whatever to make sure
Yeah.
it comes out on the print pretty good. And that introduction, I plan on putting it on the print on demand first, so that way
Okay.
people can get a taste of what's to come.
Nice. Awesome
And
stuff.
this occurred after I got some feedback this year, because at
Nice.
first I was going to launch a 64-page comic, but now I learned that I can split that amongst 3 issues.
Yeah.
And once I get those 3 issues done, then I can go ahead and do, like, technically it'll
Like a
be,
collector's edition.
yes, and it'll
Yeah.
be 90 plus pages. So that'll be good for a campaign, you
Yeah.
know, however way I can do it.
Nice. Yeah, I was thinking also the same, like going the Joe Ball route and doing 300 pages in the first one,
Yeah,
but it'd be a lot better, and the customers won't have to wait as long if you were to break
exactly.
it down and do like 30-page segments, like what Genuine Comics is doing. Like he's got like a seven, I think it was like a 13-page arc for Perfect 10, but he's breaking it down into issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, so that way he
Yeah,
can continue the story, and people won't have to
exactly.
wait as long
Yeah,
for the next
yeah,
installment. Yeah, that's great.
and yeah,
Uh,
and for me,
would you are you planning on like having most of this done or all of this done before launching? Would launching be like around July, August of next year?
I think that sounds like a great timeline. I would definitely love for that to happen. Um,
Nice.
just assuming that there are no roadblocks.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned on a few of my streams, I have every resource possible to get this done.
Nice.
I just want to make sure it gets done right. So
Yeah.
having a writer and an editor in it involved, I think, helps. And granted, I get it. We're not doing it like it's Marvel, So Marvel has a whole streamline process, and they have these quick deadlines. But with what I have available, I think it can definitely get done in that reasonable amount of time. And
Nice.
obviously, I want to do trading cards, power levels, all those kind of things too, to kind of contribute to the lore.
Sweet.
I already have my own online merch store, so T-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, all that kind of stuff. I could
Yeah.
even put my stuff on shoes. So I mean,
Nice.
all that's
VKP
all.
shoes.
Huh?
VKP shoes. That'd be
Yeah,
great. Get the high tops.
yeah. Uh,
Nice.
um, they will not have blood in them. I promise you that.
Man, that tripped me
Uh,
out, man. I was like, I can't believe he did that. But yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
can't believe
crazy.
people bought it too. But yeah, well, I guess to each
Yeah,
their own.
yeah. So the more feedback I get from people, I think
Yeah,
that helps. I'll listen. Um, I may not take everything at face value. There are some things that um, I think may work for my situation that may not work for others,
yeah,
and I completely understand that. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of evaluate things as I go, because I do have an LLC to run, and
that's fine. Yeah,
if people don't know, that does cost money. So I
yeah,
kind of
definitely.
can't take up too much of my time to have a big book like you were mentioning.
Yeah,
So raising
awesome stuff,
awareness.
man.
You know, nice.
Yeah, definitely. And I've noticed that most of your artwork is digital.
Hmm.
Is there? I mean, obviously there's a preference there, but are you ever going to try traditional, or you just don't like it, or
Well, yeah, I started off traditional. Um,
yeah,
I was a traditional artist, from the get go. We didn't have iPads and Procreate and all that stuff back in the
Yeah,
90s. So,
exactly. Yeah.
my thing is I just been able to get a lot more done with digital. In fact, let me show you this right quick.
Rob is leaving us. Rob is coming
So I
back.
have some some traditional ones that I've already started on that will be included in some of these campaigns. These are one-off
Ooh,
BKP artwork.
nice.
Let me get the
That's
angle right.
A4,
Huh?
eight and a half by 11
11
size.
by
Oh, 11,
17.
17. Oh, yeah, okay. That's
Yep.
like sweet.
So
Nice.
yeah,
This
I
is the
got
older
some.
sister.
Huh?
This is the older sister.
Um, no, that's the
Well,
younger one. She's got the shorter hair.
yeah, I thought that was hair. Okay, nice,
Yep.
sweet.
So
That is
yeah,
her name is Novera,
yes, Novera is the younger one,
and
and Nirvana is the
Nirvana is the older
older,
one.
more
Nice,
maniacal. So
nice.
yeah, I do have some
I
traditional
was just
stuff and like
appreciating
yours.
Rob.
Say again.
Like that was just appreciating Rob because you're on the whole screen.
Oh,
Just appreciating Rob.
so yeah, I got some traditional stuff. It's just a
Nice.
matter of spending time because I mean, plus too, with a lot of this stuff, the digital work, you got to recharge the iPads.
That is
you
true.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
so taking that good break and then hopping on traditional, that keeps the momentum going too. And
Nice.
with the digital stuff, one of the key things that I stopped doing was using like the stabilizers because the stabilizers, yeah, they make it easier for you to draw curves and all that stuff. But when you don't have that, that buffer when you're doing traditional, your lines are kind of going to go everywhere. So
Yeah.
I try to keep it as close to traditional as possible when it comes to some of the digital stuff. So no stabilizers. I try to use what looks like pencils as much as possible. So that way my
Nice.
rendering on digital looks pretty similar to what's on traditional.
Good stuff, man. Awesome stuff, man. And yeah, so yeah, I think we could pin it there because we're well over the hour mark.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, thank you very much for the great inside look on Virgin Kill Paradox. It sounds like a really great project. Definitely unique to what we're accustomed to seeing in CG, and I think it's great because we need more variety.
Hmm.
And and yeah, so I look forward to seeing more artwork from Virgin Kill Paradox in the future. And yeah, it was a pleasure having you, Rob. Are there any last bits for the fans, for the people in the chat? Any last
Oh,
comments?
I mean, thanks for having me, Elliot. I greatly appreciate it. I think you have a great show and you organize it well. Uh,
Try my best.
scheduling people.
Yeah.
um, and thanks to everybody that popped in. Even some folks I've been on stream with, like Odin and J-Bot. I know J-Bot's doing his arcade world tour. I think he just visited like the biggest arcade out there. But
Nice.
even with this cover right here, I think I'm probably gonna redo it in the style that
Yeah,
I have.
because it's a great cover.
Yeah,
I like it.
so it kind of
It,
captures
it
a lot.
yeah, I envision it almost like a wraparound cover,
Yeah, good point.
like
Yep,
with the bad girl on one side and then the good girl on the other, something like
that
that.
makes
Looks yeah,
sense.
I like that cover. Looks great.
Hmm. So yeah, I definitely may. Well, yeah, I'll make it a point to go ahead and get this done too because I worked on this during my first deployment
Nice,
in 2017, I think. Yeah.
wow,
So yeah, I'm excited to do more of this, learning the whole process. Um, I've enjoyed my time being with Comicsgate, which I officially had become part of this family this year.
Nice.
I've been keeping up with EVS's stuff for a couple years, and Eric July's stuff for a couple years as well, with some of their um, ideas and things that they presented. I've agreed with most of it. And it's like, yeah, the big two, which I call the worst two, they're not doing their job.
That's a good.
So
That's a good name. Yeah.
why not have people that are willing to take it above and beyond?
Yeah.
And with some of the creators that I have backed in CG, I'm working on trying to get their books at local conventions in my area in Virginia, and
Oh, nice.
local comic book shops as well. So that incentivizes store owners to have more than just 30 different variants of a Marvel cover just to get it. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
30 different variants, you might as well come up with a brand new book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
If you
yeah,
put 30 variants into 30 more pages, that would be another book itself. Yeah.
yeah. So, definitely thankful that you have this platform. You guys inspire me to keep going and
Yeah.
to
Definitely.
grow and get better and produce, a better product.
Awesome stuff, man. And where can we find you? Like, I don't know if people are in the chat are aware. Rob has a YouTube channel also, and
Hmm.
he does streams. Well, you haven't lately, but you did have you were doing some frequently.
Hmm.
Well, where else can we find you?
You can find me Facebook the least. I try not to go over there. Um,
I
but
closed my page like a few days ago, actually.
yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Rob Wilson. Twitter, that's where I'm mainly at.
Yeah,
Um, RW Arts or Rob Wilson Arts. Um, you can find me on Gab, Parlor, all those places, alternate social media places.
nice.
Um, yeah, YouTube. I'm here. I'm kind of mixing up my medium with YouTube.
Yeah,
Do movie reviews on some movies that I'll watch. I'll do some quick speed paintings, and
nice,
I'll jump in and do lives here and there just to provide updates, just to kind of mix it up. And I'm also on Rumble, so if YouTube censors one of my videos, the backup is on Rumble.
it's on
So,
Rumble. Nice,
mhm.
and
And
you
that's
heard it here first.
yep.
Awesome
So
stuff.
that's where I lack in experience in comics and all that stuff. I definitely know how to get banned from YouTube. It's like my second
Nice,
channel. So if you're trying to get a break and create controversy, let me know.
nice. Rob will get it for you, for
Yeah.
real. Good stuff, man. And yeah, so that'll be it for today's show. Thank you very much to everybody who tuned in. And next week is my last stream for the year. I'm going to show off, reveal the comic that I'm working on, and then that'll be it. Then after that, I'm just going to dedicate time to getting these pages out, and then working more towards that, and then that'll be it. So thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
sir.
I'm sorry about the hiccups in the show,
It's all
and
good.
and that's it. So thank you very much to everybody. We'll catch you guys later. Take care, and we're out. I want to take
Peace.
1 second. Bam, he's out, and I'm out. I am gone. Have a great day, everyone.